Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Shop Talk Park Slope. I'm Nikki R. Thomas, licensed associate real estate broker with the Corcoran Group. And today we are speaking with Chrystelle Seidman of Chez Chrystelle.
Yay!
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm always excited to talk to people, but but I'm particularly excited to speak with you just because you've got something really fun and unique going on. So again, speaking about Chez Chrystelle, why don't you tell us more about it?
So Chez Chrystelle is a small farm. We have it's a small operation. It's a small family business that started in the neighborhood. We started right after the pandemic. We wanted, after the nightmare of COVID, we wanted to bring people together. We wanted something that would be fun and bring people together. And we decided, why not just start cooking and have people come over, hang out, mingle, share a meal, take family meals to their home, have a drink, and then just take family dinner home and have dinner as a family.
So I think if I remember correctly in terms of the model, so basically you, or at least when you started, you would make all these different types of meals. Like you would basically have like a set menu where people could place their pre-orders. You would make the meals out of your home, and then they would actually be able to stop by your home at a specified time and actually pick up their meals. And everything is like, so is everything already literally like ready to go, or is it like in separate packages? Like how does that kind of work for folks?
So technically every week we have a menu. The menu is different every week. And, this is African fusion food. I'm from Cameroon. So we try to mix, different parts of Africa and mix it with food from here and around the world. What we do, people place their order during the week. And when they come on Tuesday, it's fun because they come to pick up, we have a list and also I should try my best to memorize everybody's order. Sometimes a lot of orders. And which is, and people come, we have cocktails right there on the stoop. People come on the stoop. They have cocktails, there's snacks for kids, there's toys for kids to play with, chalk and stuff. So the kids play, they have snacks and, healthy drinks. And then grown-ups have a cocktail and just say hi to their neighbor and hang out and people meet. And after that, they take their dinner home and have a family dinner.
Well, that's really nice because you could have just been like, okay, here's your food. Nice to see you, chit chat, and then everybody goes. But it's like you've kind of set up this thing where it's almost kind of like a little, in a way, kind of like not quite a stoop potluck, but it almost kind of sounds like a little bit like a little stoop. You know what I mean? Like a little.
Yeah, we call it a stoop hang.
The stoop hang, yes, a stoop hang, yes.
A stoop hang, because this is personal. It's not I don't want to call it like a business. It's mostly like to meet people, during the pandemic, we couldn't see people, so it was such a fresh air, like something exciting to look forward to when we could get out and you could see people and have people just seeing each other and hanging out again. So we wanted it to be personal and lovely,
Yeah, that sounds like a lovely idea. So actually, speaking of the idea, basically, how did you decide, basically, or rather, because you've already kind of touched on like what the inspiration was. It was like, obviously, you wanted to bring people together and you wanted to do that through food. So I guess what I kind of would like to know is like, how did that kind of like pop into your head of like, yeah, let's do this food, doing this is like the way to get all these people together.
So before the pandemic, we used to have dinner almost 2 or 3 times a week at home. We had friends over all the time, just grilling and hanging out. And during the pandemic, we love to entertain. We love just because food makes people happy.
Yes.
And during the pandemic, it was depressing. It was just weird, and I didn't even I didn't even want to cook anymore because my husband and kids would wake up in the morning and I made like 7 different meals because I was so pregnant and couldn't sleep, and I was like, I'm just gonna start cooking. And they would wake up and there's all this food and you don't even want to eat it because they're like, this is too much and we just want breakfast. So we just wanted to entertain more. We'd always entertain people. And after the pandemic, I was like, we were away, we quarantined in Florida. And then we were like, before that I had a daycare. I was running my daycare and I enjoyed traveling. And so I was like, when we go home, when we get back, maybe I don't want to do the daycare anymore because I want to have the flexibility to travel whenever I want. So I was like, why don't I cook? And I asked a couple of people like, hey, would you be interested if I start doing this for real? And they're like, oh my gosh, yes. Sure. Everybody was like on the go. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And that's how we started. First week, I didn't have a lot of, people reaching out. It was just like 10 meals the first week. But the next Tuesday was like 40. And then it just kept going higher. And then I was like, okay, guys, that's it. I'm going to close the list. I can't. You have to have like a maximum and just stop there. You can't keep this. So that was, yeah.
Because listen, I mean, it would take you a long time to reach probably like the upper limit of what orders people would be willing to try to place in a neighborhood like this. Is I'm pretty sure the population of Park Slope is like multiples of the town I grew up in Georgia. Like it's literally like thousands of people. So it would take you a while.
I love it. I wish I could do more, but it's just lovely. And what I love the most is every Tuesday after every meal, I get videos, I get messages, I get all they're like, oh my God, this was my first meal. I can't wait for the next one. And I also have these people that are always on my list, no matter what. They're like, I don't care what you're making next week or the next week or the week after. I want to be on the list for whatever.
It's like, I'm coming.
And then I also have children. Like kids are tricky. So I love how people send me messages of videos of their kids just like gobbling their food and like, yay, this was so good. And I'm like, this is good. It's the food that is different to what they usually eat and for them to eat it. So it's great.
Yeah, because kids are picky eaters and stuff. They're kind of like, they're very suspicious of new things.
They're a tough audience.
Yes, when it comes to food, like everything else, it's like, ooh, what's this? Let me touch this. Let me see this. What's this? But when it comes to food, they're like,
just one nugget. Yeah.
So kind of in that same vein of things taking off, you're now selling in the pretty much kind of world famous Park Slope Food Coop. Like you are selling salads. Like, how did that happen? And how is that going to like change things for you? Because I know that like, I believe like basically you were, at least when you started, like you were originally making meals out of your home and stuff. So basically, did you have to switch to like having like an industrial kitchen or whatever else? Like kind of like basically how did all this come about and kind of how has that like changed things for your business?
Right now we rent a commercial kitchen downtown Brooklyn and work from there. Park Slope, the food co-op is amazing. I love having my stuff there. It's just, I love it. And there were a lot of people in North Slope that, when you probably saw in the Park Slope Together group, many people live, on the other side, and then it was hard to reach them because they couldn't get here, South Slope. So having the salads, North Slope, at the food co-op was, a big thing for us. Yeah. Just wanted to have reach as many people as we want. And that's why we had to literally convert to a real kitchen this time.
So how did you, was there someone who did you basically kind of who initiated? Was it that did you all reach out to them and it's like, hey, is there a way that we could get our food into the co-op? Or was there somebody maybe from the co-op who was already familiar with you and they were like, hey, you want to maybe try to sell that here? It was a little bit of both, kind of what happened there?
It was somebody who was quietly following me on Instagram. I did not even know him.
Yeah.
And and I happened to bump into him at a friend's house, and then we talked about it. He was like, "I really want. You probably don't know my profile, but I follow you, and I think what you do is great, and I would love if we can have your stuff at the food co-op."
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
I was like, what? Yeah. And the great thing is right now, we aren't just doing the salads with them, but starting next month, it's going to start, do salads in the morning and meals. So they'll be having real.
I'm cheering because I'm a member of the co-op.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Amazing.
Very, very exciting. That's great news for me in particular.
Yeah, there's going to be great meals, something that it's just, you'll see, I won't tell too much. It's going to be great.
Secret special things coming ahead. That's really, really exciting. So do you think after kind of going through this experience, do you think you would ever potentially want to have a full restaurant at this point? Or you're kind of nah, I'm kind of liking the vibes that I have right now. What are your thoughts on that now that you've been doing this for a bit?
So right now, my main thing, all the jobs that I've had since becoming a mother, I wanted to always have my kids around. That's my first job, being a mom, right? I had a daycare, so I could have my kids in my daycare.
You're really brilliant. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah. And then I started the food business because I'm like, okay, they're going to school, so I can do this one day in school, and then when they come back, I can still be a mom. Right now, my goal is to reach more, maybe a couple of more stores, because many people have been reaching out to me that they're not members of the food co-op.
Okay.
So I want to, I would like to add a few stores that, regular stores that do not require membership to shop at. And maybe later opening a restaurant, but my kids are still small and, I need to be here for them. So.
Yeah, the whole undercurrent of this interview, which is really kind of cool, is you are a mother who has figured out how to shift and kind of and mold her career in different businesses around the needs of what you want to do in terms of for your family and stuff. And I think that that's really, really great. So hopefully, somebody out there is watching this and takes this as inspiration for I can, so I can, there's all these different paths that I could potentially take. There's different ways of doing things that I could potentially do. I think that that's really, really fabulous. And not only that, just to see you be so successful with it.
And then I love it. And, things are all happening naturally. Things happen naturally, even with the food co-op. People always ask me, what is your next step? You have to open a restaurant. And I couldn't see myself opening a restaurant right now, but I didn't know what my next step was. And then when that guy put it in my head, hey, do you want to sell stuff at my store? I was like, oh, this is brilliant. I should be doing that, And it's been doing great.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, and I can kind of say this is like, even though in my business as a real estate agent, obviously there's lots of things that I try to plan for, right? But a lot of times, certain ideas for things or activities, it's more of a combination of luck and opportunities that just kind of present themselves at times that you don't really expect. And when it comes to you, you're just kind of like, okay.
You know? That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, and it's just like, and it's really wonderful when it kind of works out that way and stuff. You know, there's something to planning and being and organized and having a vision for things and everything else. But sometimes it really is just kind of nice to just be able to go with the flow of things and really kind of go with your intuition and how things feel and whether or not something is really right. But no, I think that's great that you've built this wonderful business out of that also connects a lot of people. And actually, speaking of which, to kind of like, wrap the interview up and everything else, kind of what have you really like, being specifically kind of in Park Slope, what have you really enjoyed about having your business based in Park Slope, other than the fact that, you're here and it's based out of your home, which makes it very convenient?
Oh, Park Slope is magical. You have the park, which is amazing. Love the park. I literally take these guys from here, like almost every day to the park. Say hi.
Nice. Hey.
He's just sitting next to me.
We have an unexpected guest.
This is Philippe. I go back to your seat.
Mom, I was going to ask you, there was a Minecraft video on Portal. Can we watch it?
I'll be right back.
Can I watch the Minecraft video?
After. So,
I'm totally keeping that in because he's adorable.
Yeah, he's literally just like sitting right here. Well, I love the fair, the Fifth Avenue one. Love that.
Yeah.
And have you heard of Psycho?
Yes. We've eaten there. Yep, it's great.
So it's next door to me. Love them. They're my brothers. They're awesome. Love going there. It's a bunch of restaurants in Park. I love Park Slope. There's like the mix of everything. And actually kind of discovered that there's a Cameroonian restaurant in Park Slope on Fifth Avenue that I didn't know of. I know.
Well, what is it?
I think it's like second, like in your song, the restaurant song?
Okay.
It's on that same block. So I should check it out. I just found out about it. And then, there's a lot of stuff. I love the difference of culture and, all the foods and drinks. And I don't think there's, any place other than this than Park Slope. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it is a pretty wonderful neighborhood, which is why we're trying to stay here ourselves as long as possible.
I know.
All right. Well, you clearly have matters to attend to.
I know.
But thank you so much for taking time out of your day to speak with us. So it's Chez Chrystelle. And actually, what's your Instagram handle so that way people can follow you?
Chez Chrystelle, CHEZ and then CHRYSTELLE.
All right. Awesome. Again, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to chat with us and help us learn more about your business. This was so fun. I really enjoyed chatting with you. So
thank you for having me.
Of course, like I said, I had my eye on you for a while.
Oh, thank you.
So when I finally got you, I was like, yes.
Yay. Sorry, I wasn't very responsive. It takes me a while.
You have
crazy
days. You have things going on. You're a business owner and a mother. You have lots of things going on. All right. Well, thanks so much, folks, for joining us. I will see you next time in another edition of Shop Talk Park Slope.
Bye.